storm into the castle. The castle garrison is caught off guard, and Jean orders her men to massacre them all. She spares just one man and gives him instructions to give King Philip the regards of Jean de Clisson. She continued to sack castles along the Normandy coast with her personal army, and eventually she buys 3 warships which she paints black and dyes their sails blood red. She names her flagship My Revenge and essentially becomes a pirate. She carries with her a massive axe and begins terrorizing French merchant ships in the English Channel. Her tactics are brutal, as she's not so interested in looting. Her only goal is revenge on the French. The crew of every ship she targets is slaughtered, and she personally beheads every French nobleman she finds with her axe. Only one witness on each ship is left alive to tell the story of what had happened. As word of Jean and her Black Fleet gets back to the king, she becomes known as the Lioness of Brittany. Word of this crazy redhead with these black ships that's f***ing up French merchant ships somehow gets back to the English, and they immediately recognize her as a valuable ally and begin funding her to keep up the good work. But Jean's reign of terror couldn't last forever, and in 1348, the French Navy finally tracked down her fleet. In a brutal battle, her fleet is destroyed and her flagship is boarded. But when the soldiers look for Jean, she's already long gone. She had escaped in a tiny boat with some members of her crew. With no food or water, they floated helplessly for 6 days, and some crew members ultimately did not survive the escape. Finally, on the 7th day, Jean drifted onto English shores, half dead, but still alive enough to ruin King Philip VI's day. Upon landing in England, she was welcomed by King Edward III as a respected ally. With her ships and crew gone, she decides she had enough of the pirate life. 2 years later, her nemesis, King Philip VI, dies anyway, closing that chapter, and she meets and marries an English knight named Walter Bentley. They returned to Brittany together, where she peacefully lived out the rest of her days, dying at the ripe age of 59. Which these days seems way too young, but for a mother of 7 in the 1300s who had also been, a freaking pirate, it was a pretty good run.